What's up, YouTube? Welcome again to Baseline to Baseline and my coverage of the nation's top 25 college basketball teams with the number 6 team now, the University of Kansas, the Jayhawks. Let's start off with the guards. They're the kings of the Big 12, Kansas is, but let's start off with the guards. First, let's start with Marcus Garrett. He's a versatile shooting guard, small forward. He's a slasher. He's capable of making the three, but his game is mostly built on slashing and getting to the cup to score. He's good off the bounce. He's a good passer, and he's a great defender. One of the better wing defenders in the Big 12 and one of the better wing defenders in the country. Well, he gives them experience, and he knows the system well and what to do. The next kid is Ochai Agbaji, and I probably messed up your name, but he's a 6'5" shooting guard, can play some small forward. He's very strong. He's very athletic. He's got good ball handling skills. He's a strong ball handler. He's a 3-level scorer. He's capable of getting his own shot, and he's also a good defender. He's a decent scorer, just like Garrett. He's a decent scorer. They're not just great scorers. He scored 10 a game last year. I think Garrett was 9 a game, but they are some really good role players. The next kid is, he was the top JUCO player in the nation. If he wasn't the top, some had him at the top, some had him number 2, and that's Tyon Grant Foster, who is a 6'7" shooting guard / small forward. He's a 3-level scorer. He's a good athlete. He's got great ball handling ability. He can get his own shot. He can get to any spot on the floor he wants to. He can go left, he can go right. He reminds me of a smaller version of Paul George as far as handling the ball and getting your shot off, got range, and he's a big time scorer. He could lead them in scoring, but I'll tell you about that later. But he is he's very impressive off the bounce. But he could have a big year. He could. He should, but I'll tell you about that later. The next player we're going to cover is Bryce Thompson, who's a McDonald's All-American. He's a 6'5" lead guard, point guard. He'll probably play point this year for Kansas, but he's more of a lead guard. He's a 3-level scorer. He can get his own shot. He can go left and he can go right. He's a very good passer, and he could also lead this team in scoring because of his talent and his ability to score at all 3 levels. He's a freshman, but he's ready to play. The next kid I want to cover is Christian Braun. Now, it's spelled Braun, B-R-A-U-N, but they tell me that he pronounces it Brown. And he is a 6'6" shooting guard, 3-level scorer, can get his own shot. I really like this kid's stroke. He's a good athlete with nice handles, and he's capable of coming off the bench. If he's coming off the bench this year, and I'm sure he probably will, and having some big nights off the bench, giving him some offensive punch, and he gives you some experience also. The next is DeJuan Harris, who's a 6'1" point guard. He is very quick and athletic. Great passer. He can get in the lane at will. He's more of a 2-level scorer, and he's really best at making plays for others. And he'll be an opportunistic scorer in this offense. But he's a really good player. He's a freshman also. They have Latrell Jostle, who will have to fight for playing time, who's a 5'11" point guard. Be hard for him to get minutes, but you never know. Forwards, let's start off with Jalen Wilson, who got hurt last year. He's a 6'7" small forward. He's a 3-level scorer, but he's best when he's putting the ball on the floor and going to his spots or getting all the way to the hole to score. Very good handles. He can finish. And like I say, he's got a nice stroke and can get his own shot, which is always a plus for any team when you have somebody that can go and get their own offense, create their own offense, and score the ball. They need him this year to show up for them to be where I have them ranked, and he's capable of doing this. He's a really talented kid. The next kid is Tristan Enaruna, and I'm sorry, Tristan, I probably messed up your name. Tristan Enaruna, I think. He's 6'8". He's a small forward. He's very skilled. He's very athletic, handles, and when he gets into the mid-range and the paint area, he's almost like he's ambidextrous when he shoots the ball. And he's very skilled. He's very talented. He can get his own offense. He's a good passer, and he's got a nice looking shot also. He played last year, got a lot of quality minutes for him last year, and I think he'll even be more productive as a sophomore as I think Will Wilson. Let's go with the Mitch Lightford, who sat out last year. He sat out last year to be a big part of this year's team, and it is going to end up working out for him because about 2 weeks ago, Silvio De Sousa decided to leave school and pursue a career, in the pros, maybe overseas. But that also is going to give Mitch some playing time. Now, it hurts with Silvio leaving, but Mitch is he's power forward. He's rugged. He can finish around the rim. He's a good shooter, can make threes. He is a good defender. He's a good coming off the ball, coming off his man, weak side shot blocker. And he's, like I say, he scores around the basket. He's got a good touch. He will get a lot of playing time this year too. The next kid I want to cover is David McCormick, who will be the center. He's 6'10". He's a big space eater. He's very strong around the basket and finisher at the basket. Great at screen and roll. Nice shooting touch in the paint. Playing time is all his this year because he had to spend a lot of playing time last year with the big kid that they had. Well, this year he'll have it all to himself, and the one thing, they're going to feed him. He's going to get the opportunities. He's going to get the looks because Self is going to make sure he gets the ball, and he is capable of scoring. I think he was averaging 6 a game last year in a bench role, so expect him to double that this year. The next kid is a kid named Jethro Muscadin. He's a 6'10", power forward center, and when I watch this kid play, it's like, wow. In the right situation, this kid is raw, but he's athletic. He's got good shooting touch. He needs to get his elbow up on his shot. He got good footwork, good hands, puts the ball in the basket around the rim. But like I say, he's raw. But the right situation, this kid could be Akeem Olajuwon. This kid he's got some talent. I mean, he's got tremendous upside. And he's not going to be a one and done kid, but he needs to be thrown out there and get some playing time and get used to being in the situation of big time college basketball. But he's got tremendous upside. And I mean, he's going to have to play. Don't know how much he'll play, but this kid he could really, really be a special player. Now let's talk about the strengths of this team. the experience. He's got a good mix of kids from the 1, 2, 3, and 4 spots. That is the point guard, shooting guard, small forward, power forward. You all know that. He's got a good mix of kids there. Ball handling, athletic. They've got some good defenders, and it's a pretty good shooting team. I think they've got some shooters. I think Wilson, Inuara, and I know Brown, and the kid, the new kid they're bringing in, Thompson. They're capable of shooting. So it's a good shooting team. They're the good mix of experience and freshmen. Grant Foster could be great. Like I say, he's like a baby Paul George, or regular season P, as I call him. I'm being too hard on Paul George. Paul George can play. He's got game. But the weaknesses, they're going to be freshmen in the backcourt, freshman starter, freshman backup, but both are talented. They are talented. So when you got that, you really have a chance. Unsure of what they're doing on offense. And what I mean is, Self's an X and O guy. He really is. But when you watch him play, it just leaves a lot to be desired. It's no, you don't know. It's almost like they don't know, should I shoot? Should I do? Is it okay for me to do this? And that's what they've always looked like to me. And I like I say, Self is an X and O guy. But let's talk about coaching. He's a good X and O man. He's experienced. He's the king of the Big 12. He is the king of the Big 12. He really is. And that's one thing he can promise you when he recruits you. You're going to have a chance to win the Big 12 this year. You know, whereas Coach K said, we're going to try to win it all and get to the Final Four every year you hear. Well, Bill Self said, we're going to win the Big 12. We are. We're the Big 12 kings. But under pressure, that's where they get Self. If things are going to plan and they've got more talent than you and they're beating you, that's when he's really at his best. In a close game, under pressure, you've got him. And if you ever watch a game and they're playing and he starts doing this with his lips, you got him. You got him. Because you've made him have to think. And he's at a loss. He doesn't know what to do. But as long as he's out in front of you and can close the show, he's fine. But pressure game, hey, you got him. Foster, Tyne Grant Foster, I hope I get to see you play this year. I mean, play your game this year, because you got a lot of talent. And I hope I get a chance to see you play your game this year. But the thing about this year's team and Bill Self's team, they're a team that I think he's going to have a great year with, because he's got a team with a lot of role players, more role players than stars. And he can coach a team like this. He's at his best when he coaches a team like this. When he's got talent, I call him Klaus Barbie, the Klaus Barbie of basketball, the Butcher of Leon. But anyway, that's my number 16. Thank you. Please hit like, subscribe, share, hit the bell so you can get a notification. Thanks for subscribing, all you have subscribed. And I'll see you next time with my number 17 and team number 7 in the country. Thanks.